嗯，你好，请问咱们流程大概是什么样子呀？
就是我先做一个介绍，包括这个从详情，大家怎么参加 bounty 啊，然后有几场 workshop 然后之类的，就介绍一下。然后之后我就会口头让这个航标老师啊先分享，然后分享完之后，我再会让大家就是鼓励大家这个线上打卡，然后再进行一个 Q&A 环节，小 Q&A，如果有问题的话。然后如果没有什么疑问呢，就到您这边儿，然后您这边儿再是刚才这个流程啊，您的分享，然后一个小 Q&A，然后我再做一下这个，最后就是号召大家报名啊，然后大家到这个 Dollar Hacks 里边儿看一些 bounty 啊，就这些之类的，大概流程就这样。
嗯，好嘞，好嘞，明白。
对，然后
因
有什么
为那个，
疑问，我会同步给您啊，因为您这边儿不是收不到这个问题吗？
嗯，好好好，明白明白。
嗯嗯。
好的好的。嗯，因为那个之前雅琴老板跟我讲的，给我分享了一个主题，所以我以为是 MA 为主，但没关系，一会儿我就稍微讲一讲，就是黑客松这边的一些事情吧。不过我的分享可能因为我也没有 PPT，所以可能不会特别长啊。Q&A 可以多说一说。
OK。好。
嗯，好嘞。
那就咱现在就正式开始吧。然后，各位这个参赛者啊，大家好，欢迎大家来到本次这个2024布瓦克松的第3场的 workshop 直播活动。然后我是这个主持人 Tracy。这个Polkadot Hackathon 呢是由 OneBlock 举办的这个波卡生态开发者创业大赛，然后招募面向全球的 Web3的技术爱好者参赛，促进开发者们为波卡 Service 生态创造出更多的新型产品。带领团队呢可以投入到这个波卡生态的开发进程当中。OneBlock 官方呢也会在这个黑客松举办周期前后啊，协助开发者组建团队，提供技术指导，然后引入这个投资扶持等等。这里也提醒一下各个参赛团队啊，然后大家创建好自己这个 GitHub 仓库之后啊，要按照这个参赛流程啊，完成完整的这个项目信息提交。然后这是官方这个评委审核作品的地方。如果有什么疑问啊，咱们在群里啊，找老师或者工作人员沟通就行了。然后另外呢，咱们新加坡和曼谷2个黑松4个赛道啊，奖金池是63万美金加在一起啊。然后也可以和 Bounty 叠加，然后一会儿我也会说一下这个 Bounty 这个事儿，因为会持续更新，所以大家也是要关注这个 Dollar Hacks 啊，也预祝各位取得好成绩。Okay, dear participant, good morning, good evening. Welcome to the third workshop live broadcast event of the 2024 Polkadot Hackathon. I'm your host Tracy. And Polkadot Hackathon is an entrepreneurial competition for Polkadot ecosystem developers officially organized by OneBlock. It recruits Web3 technology enthusiasts from the world to participate, promoting developers to create more innovative products for Polkadot and Substrate ecosystem, and leads the team to invest in ecological development and construction is underway. One block will also help developers create teams, provide technical guidance, and introduce investment and other support before and after the hackathon. Here we also remind each participating team that after creating your GitHub repo, you need to submit the complete project information following the competition specifications. There's this is where the official judge reviews your projects. So if you have any questions, you can ask the mentors or staff in the hackathon participation group. In addition, the total bonus pool of the 4 major tracks of the 2 hackathon is 630,000 US dollars and can be stacked with a bounty bonus. Here, I wish all projects team good luck. And right now, I'm just trying to end this show and show the the bounties. Yeah, 给大家介绍一下这个 bounties. Yeah, you have to really for the Singapore bounties, you can check. Um, the tab here, bounty details, and we have Akala, Cross Network, Vara Network, Gear, Bifrost, and also Blockchain for Goose。哎，对，然后我们新增这个 bounty 啊，就是这5个啊 bounty，对于新加坡这个合同啊，大家持续关注。然后对，然后 for the Bangkok hackathon right now we have 4 bounties. We have Vara Network, Bifrost, the Vania Network, Blockchain for Goose. Yeah, it's the same place, same tab, bounty details. And also, we have already sent all the bounties infos to your team group. You can check it through Discord. 对，然后微信报名的这个同学啊，我们也在这个群里啊，群公告里把这个 bounty 的信息也给您这个展示了，这个包括这个 DAO-HAX 链接啊，对，大家可以持续关注。行，然后再回到这个 jump back to my slides。行，然后呢，对，然后咱们这个黑客松啊，一共是举办了这个6场，然后今天是咱们第3场，然后也是为大家带来更多分享内容嘛，因为咱们有一个线上打卡嘛，如果您想获得这个 travel grants 啊，对，然后您需要参加3场，至少参加3场这个线上活动，然后打卡，对，so we have 6 online workshop. Today is the third one, and if you want to have a chance to get a travel grant, that just remember to drop your team name, your name plus your project name, or your name plus your individual. To make sure that's your project name instead of your team name. Right? Somebody like sent me like both names, but for convenience, please just send me like drop here your name plus your project name. Yeah， 大家打卡啊，就是您把这个名字和项目名称发这儿啊。然后，如果您还没有组建这个团队啊，就是您需要找团队加入的话，您就把姓名和个人发在这儿。行，然后行，那咱们就到这个分享环节吧。这个分享环节，咱们也是请了2位老师啊，为大家带来主题分享，然后也是涵盖了各个大家关注的一些领域或者赛道吧，然后也希望为大家提供一些宝贵的经验。然后今天也是分为2部分，恒伟老师先进行介绍，然后如果大家有什么疑问啊，有这个小 Q&A 阶段啊，大家可以先记下来，然后会给大家同步，然后 Max 老师再进行一个介绍。对。So the next is the sharing session. So we are very honored to invite substrate contributors to participate in this workshop and bring you rich thematic sharing. And the sharing content covers various fields and tracks that everyone is concerned about. After each sharing, if you have any questions, I can forward to our speakers. We have Hang Biao, Dev Rue of Gear Foundation, and Max, ecosystem lead of Metafa, bring you theme sharing. And during the period, you can just, if you have any questions, you can drop it in the chat box. 行，那就到第一个环节。第一个环节，咱们有请咱们何梅老师啊，给咱们分享 Self Framework 入门。Okay, let's start. First part, Hang Biao, Dev Rue of Gear Foundation will share with you getting started with Self Framework. OK， 那就退出。Okay, perfect. I can see the screen.
So good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's workshop about sales framework. I'm Han Biao, and I'm part of the developer relations team at Gear Foundation. And our agenda for today covers 3 main areas. First, we'll dive into what Vara Network is and what makes it special. Then we'll explore sales framework through examples. And finally, we'll wrap up with a live demo to see sales in action. And let's get started with our first topic. What is Vara network? Vara network is an ultra-fast layer 1 blockchain powered by Gear protocol. And Gear protocol is a smart contract engine for Substrate. By using the WASM virtual machine, smart contracts can run faster and more efficiently. Vara network implements an actor model. This is a conceptual model for concurrent computation where actors are the fundamental units of computation. They can make local decisions, create more actors, send messages, and determine how to respond to the next message received. This model enhances the scalability of our network. And Vara supports parallel computing. This means that multiple computations can be carried out simultaneously, significantly boosting the performance of the network. You can find more details about our network on our official website. Now, what makes Vara truly special? There are three key features I want to highlight. First is delayed execution. This feature enables on-chain automation and allows for fully on-chain dApps. Imagine setting up a smart contract that automatically executes at a specific time in the future. That's the power of delayed execution. The next is signless transactions. Vara uses trusted sessions and temporary private keys to enable signless transactions. This significantly improves the user experience by reducing the number of times a user needs to sign a transaction. And through the use of vouchers, Vara enables gas-free interactions. This means users can interact with dApps without worrying about transaction fees, making blockchain technology more accessible to everyone. These features combine to make Vara Network a powerful platform for decentralized applications. But developing on Vara, like any other blockchain platforms, can be complex. That's where Sales Framework comes in. In our next section, we will explore how Sales simplifies smart contract development on Vara Network. So, what is Sales? Sales is a new framework designed to make your life as a developer easier and more productive. First, it eliminates low-level boilerplate code. As developers, we all know how tedious it can be to write the same set of code over and over. Sales takes care of that for you, allowing you to focus on the unique aspects of your smart contract. Second, Sales automatically generates IDL, or interface description language, for your dApps. This IDL serves as a clear language-agnostic description of your contract's interface, making it easier for other developers to understand and interact with your contract. Third, and this is the really exciting part, Sales can generate multi-language clients. Currently, it supports TypeScript and Rust. This means you can easily create front-end applications or other services that interact with your smart contract without having to manually write all the interfacing code. If you're interested in exploring the source code or contributing to Sales, you can find the repository on GitHub. Now, to better understand the advantages that Sales offers over traditional smart contract development, let's do a comparison. On the left side, we have the traditional approach. We implement our smart contract by directly calling the APIs in the Gear standard library and compile the contract into a WASM program running on top of Gear protocol. This method works, but it has limitations in terms of structure and composability. You need to manually write a lot of boilerplate code, like custom message definition, encoding and decoding, and error handling. And it is difficult to reuse code across different projects without copying and pasting the same files. Now, let's look at the right side, which shows the sales approach. We still have the same WASM program, but now we are not directly calling the low-level APIs in the Gear standard library. The sales framework gives us a higher level abstraction that simplifies interaction with underlying gear standard libraries. Now we can divide the business logic into separate services. This modular architecture promotes better organization and reusability of code. As your code grows, you can easily add more services without significantly increasing complexity. Sales provide a consistent structure for your WASM programs, making it easier for developers to understand and maintain the code base. Let's look at a comparison between using Sales Standard Library, or GSTD, and Sales for a simple Hello World contract. On the left side is the traditional way of writing smart contracts. It is twice as long as the sales implementation on the right side. For now, you don't need to know what each line means. We will explain them later. As you can see, sales allows us to write cleaner, more intuitive code with less boilerplate. So in practice, this means faster development time, easier maintenance, better collaboration among team members, and more robust and scalable applications. The architecture of sales applications is based on several key concepts. The first is program. Program is the main entry point of your smart contract. It's where everything starts. And service defines the functionality of your contract. You can think of it as a collection of related functions. You can have one or more services in your program. And mixin, also known as service composition, this allows for modular design. You can combine multiple services to create more complex functionality. And route defines how messages are handled in your contract. Event is used for emitting contract events. And as we mentioned earlier, IDL is the automatically generated interface definition. It's a crucial part of making your contract easy to interact with. Now that we have a good understanding of what sales is and why it's useful, let's look at some practical examples to see how it works in action. We will look at 3 different examples: a Hello World program, a counter, and an extended service. This will help illustrate how sales simplify smart contract development. Let's examine and explain the code provided on the right side. We first import everything from the sales prelude module. We then define a struct hello world and derive the default type for it, which provides a default value for the struct. And we use the service attribute to implement our service. The main responsibility of a service is to implement some aspect of the application's business logic. In this example, we have 2 functions: say hello, which returns a simple greeting, and greet, which takes a name and returns a personalized greeting. Now, let's look at the program part. This is where we define our program. The Hello World function returns an instance of our Hello World service. Similar to the service, program is represented by an implementation of a Rust struct marked with the program attribute. The primary role of the program is to host one or more services and expose them to external consumers. A set of program's public methods working over the self-reference and having no other parameters are treated as exposed service constructors and are called each time when an incoming request message needs to be dispatched to a selected service. This simple example demonstrates how to use sales to create a basic program that provides the Hello World output. What's great about sales is that it automatically generates an IDL for us. This IDL provides a clear language-agnostic description of our contract's interface. Here's what it looks like. IDL clearly defines the interface of our smart contract, making it easier for other developers to understand how to interact with it. As we modify our contract, the IDL is automatically updated, ensuring it always accurately reflects our contract's current interface. Tools can use this IDL to automatically generate client code for interacting with our contract, significantly speeding up the development process. Now, let's look at a slightly more complex example, a counter. This will demonstrate how sales handles state management. We define a state storage structure to store our counter value. We then use a static variable to hold our state. Before initialization, storage is none, allowing us to handle the possibility of the storage being uninitialized. The storage struct has two methods, get and getMute. These methods return references to the storage, allowing safe access to our state. The get method returns a reference to the storage. It is used for read-only operations. And getMute returns a mutable reference to the storage. It is used for operations that modify the state. We define a counter struct and use the service attribute to mark the counter struct as a service. This method initializes the static storage with a counter value of 0. And the get method returns the current value of the counter. The inc method increments the counter by 1. Next, we define a program struct and implement it with a program attribute. This includes an application constructor and a method to access our counter service. In the previous Hello World example, we had only a service constructor. Here we add an application constructor. A set of its associated public functions returning self are treated as application constructors. These will be called once at the beginning of the application's lifecycle when the application is loaded onto the network. This method initializes the counter by calling counter_init and returns an instance of the program. Now, the counter method returns the default instance of the counter struct. And sales automatically generates an IDL based on our counter service implementation. And let's take a look at what sales generated for our counter example. This line indicates that our contract has a constructor named new that takes no arguments. This corresponds to our new method in the program implementation. And the service counter block defines the interface for our counter service. This line shows that we have an inc method that takes no arguments and returns nothing. This matches our inc method. And this line indicates a get method that takes no arguments and returns an I32 value. The query keyword suggests that this is a read-only operation. This corresponds to our get method. Now, in the next example, we will show how we can combine multiple services to create more complex functionality. We will look at an example called extended service, see how to extend existing services and add new functionalities. Let's break this down step by step. First, we import the services that we want to extend. In this case, We're using hello world and counter services that we defined earlier. And we create a new struct that includes both services we want to extend. And we implement the extended service using the service attribute to extend both hello world and counter service. The extends part tells sales to include all methods from both services. We define an init method that initializes the counter service, and we can override say hello method to return a greeting in Chinese. You can extend multiple services using the extends attribute. All methods from extended services are available in the new service. You can override methods from extended services by defining a method with the same name. The init method allows you to perform any necessary initialization for the extended services. Next, we define a program struct and implement it with the program attribute, including an application constructor and a method to access our extended service. And sales automatically generates an IDL for our extended service. Here's what it looks like. This IDL shows that our extended service includes methods from both hello service and counter service, as well as our overridden say hello method. This example demonstrates the power of sales service composition feature. We've combined two existing services, hello world and counter, into a new service called extended service. We've also shown how to override methods from the extended services. This approach allows for modular, reusable, and easily extendable smart contract development. You can build complex services by combining and extending simpler ones, all while maintaining a clean and intuitive interface. Now that we've covered the theory and looked at some examples, let's put everything into practice with a live demo. We will create a new sales project from scratch, build it, and deploy it on the testnet. We'll also look at how to interact with the deployed program. I'm assuming that you already have the Rust toolchain installed on your machine. And you should have at least one compatible wallet extension installed in your browser. This could be Polkadot.js, Subwallet, or Talisman. And let's open the text editor and run the cargo generate command. You'll be prompted to name your project. We can call this project demo. Now let's explore the directory layout. You will see that there are two packages under this demo workspace. One is called app and another is wasm. The app package is where your business logic lives, and the wasm package is used to build your project into WebAssembly, and it can also generate the IDL file while you compile this project. So let's run cargo build release to compile this project. And the WASM binary will be available under the target folder once the compilation completes. For now, we can use another precompiled example for demonstration. We can download the WASM binary from its target folder. As well as the generated IDL. Now, open your browser and go to idea.gear-tech.io. Connect your wallet. Click on Upload Program and select the WASM file from your project's folder. After we sign this transaction, the program will be live on the testnet. And you can use this button to read the state of the contract. And send messages to the contract. For example, we can send a say hello message, and it should return a hello in Chinese. And this is what it looks like. Now, if you want to use Sales to build your next project, here are some additional learning materials where you'll find more example projects built using the Sales framework. For example, this repository contains the standards and reference implementations for various token types, including fungible tokens and non-fungible tokens. And that's all for my workshop. Thanks for your participation. I wish you great success in building some awesome projects.
好，Thank you，黄彪。对，然后现在其实刚才老师这个介绍的已经覆盖了同学的问题了，所以目前应该是没有什么新问题。Okay, there's no new questions coming from our audience. And let's just share my screen. Yeah, so 以防大家是中途进来的大家记着，如果要参加这个 travel grants 需要至少有3个这个 workshop 的这个打卡记录然后你可以打卡按照这个格式。If you want to have a chance to get a travel grants, please drop your name plus your project name, your name plus individual. 好，然后咱们下面就到了咱们 Max 老师next Max, the ecosystem lead of Vara will introduce roadmap to become a hackathon winner. And since Max like he doesn't have a PowerPoint, so I'll just maybe just present this. So you just for reminding you to drop your name. Yeah. 行，那就 Max 老师吧。然后您如果要回头要切屏了，您就直接切就行。我就先把这个屏幕放在这儿了。好，您开始吧。
Okay. So I should use English, right?
Yes.
Okay. So is it clear, my voice?
It's clear. Perfect.
Okay, cool. So yeah, hi everyone. Welcome to the workshop. This is Max. I'm the ecosystem lead of Meta Alpha. A quick intro about myself, and also a quick intro about like why I will be kind of the right person to talk with you guys about some experiences and some tips about attending hackathon. So in the past 3 years, I have been working very closely with different ecosystems to boost the ecosystem in Asia. I have been the founder of Blockchain Academy, which is a developer community. Together, we work a lot with Thinking Land. Right now, I'm also one of the co-contributors of Thinking Land to help the developers and as well as entrepreneurs to develop and build their own projects on different ecosystems. And in the last 1 year, I have joined Meta Alpha as the head of ecosystem. So my main job duty will be study and research on the new startups and projects and doing the investment for them. So I've been looking at around 300 projects in the last 1 year. We talk with the founders and we talk with the developers. We try to understand like what they are trying to build and give them tips and advice on why that matters and whether they can fix it or not, whether we would like to invest or help in a deep level. So yes, very happy to be the guest of the 2024 Polkadot Hackathon hosted by One Block and One Block. So today I'm going to give a little bit tips from myself, from my own experience about how to build a hackathon winning project. So I'll basically divide my workshop into 3 small parts, which is also small parts I think that matters when you are trying to build something in a hackathon. The 3 parts are first, define the problem. That's most fundamental and also one of the most crucial part when you're trying to build something in a hackathon. You should make sure you understand like what is the problem you would like to solve, because that is the basically the meaning and why you like to build this. The second part is how to design the product. I know most of the hackathon attendants are developers, so I'm quite sure you understand like how to build something at a protocol level, in the code level. But a Web3 product does not only consist of protocol and code. There are something like tokenomics. There will be something like your UI and your basically user experiences stuff. Those are something like we find out a lot of developers actually do not care a lot, but that makes a huge difference to your protocol, to your product. So I would like to also dive a little deep into that part and try to help you guys to develop it a little bit better products in those different aspects. The third is the presentation stuff, because no matter like how good your code is, how good your product is, like finally you will have to send their share your screen or do something offline to show your protocol and do the presentation. And presentation does make a really important difference to your your product and to the outcome of the hackathon. So I'll also give a little bit tips about that part, how to prepare your presentation. Okay, so let's get started. Let's first talk about the first part, the define the problem part. So I'm quite sure in this around this period you should probably have a rough idea of what you would like to build, because the hackathon has been ongoing. So probably a lot of teams you have decided what will be the protocol you would like to build, what will be the problem you would like to solve. So here are several tips. So firstly, you will be very, very careful when choosing your topic. When choosing a topic, make sure you read the guideline of the hackathon. So usually there are several ways there are several small channels you can choose. Application, DeFi protocols, social protocols, payment, middleware, infrastructure. So based on my past experience, I will strongly recommend you go as deep as you can, which means if you're able to build something in the infrastructure level, you should build infrastructure level product. And then there will be middleware, and then there will be application. But saying it back, we understand most of the developers, the coding skills and the understanding of the product of developers will only allow you guys to build application level protocols, which is good, which is all good. You don't need to worry if you can only do application level stuff. But what I'm saying is, if you are a higher level advanced developers who can contribute deeper into the ecosystem in the middleware or even in infrastructure level, you should definitely do that, because it's basically the higher barrier. And based on our past experience of the hackathons, most of the judges will prefer middleware and infrastructure level projects instead of applications, because basically the code quality and the quality of products will be different. You are getting into the core of the ecosystem. If you build something in the infrastructure level or the middleware level, that means a lot of other protocols in the application level are going to be used your protocol to build upon that. So that's definitely a deeper contribution and deeper combination into the ecosystems. So generally, the judges will prefer that. Another reason is in the application level, a lot of protocols, they're actually quite easy to transfer into other ecosystems. If you build something especially for EVM compatible chain, when you build something in the application level, then it will take like less than 3 days, I would say, to integrate into new ecosystems. So that means the judges will say, this protocol is not like Polkadot native enough, is not ecosystem native enough, it's not in the core of this ecosystem. So it will cause a little bit reduction in terms of the point and outcome of your protocol design, of the hackathon outcomes. However, if you are just a application level developer, it is all good. So make sure you build something, use the native middleware infrastructure or the native protocol in the ecosystems. That will going to make a huge difference. So again, as I mentioned, you should make sure like the protocol, the product you design is quite native in the ecosystems, so that you're going to have a higher percentage and higher probability to win the hackathon. So when you're building application, make sure like you research and you talk with the foundation, you talk with the tutors and mentors from one block, and understand like why this protocol, why this application is native in Polkadot is, quite suitable for Polkadot ecosystems and suitable for Polkadot, like all the Polkadot infrastructures for their parallel chain, for their TPS, for their ecosystems. So yeah, basically make sure when you build something, you can tell the judge very confidently. So, hey, judge, this is not something like I, integrate from other chains. Something I actually build native for Polkadot. They're going to be making a really, really huge difference to the outcome of the hackathon. Yeah, that's the first point I would like to mention when you are identify the problem and choose like the protocol you would like to build. The second is when you're choosing, the topic, the product you would like to build. Make sure you understand the product market fit. So basically, ask yourself 3 questions, like what problems you are solving using this protocol, and why that problem matters, and certainly why your protocol, like why your design, your product is the best way, is the best method to solve the problems. So if you already choose your product, you already choose like what product you would like to build for this hackathon, I still highly recommend like you ask yourself 3 questions and make sure the whole team, all the developers have a consistent understanding of the problems, of those 3 questions. They're going to contribute a lot when you are building this this product, because that basically means the whole team yourselves, you understand like why you would like to build this kind of stuff and why that matters. Yeah, that will be going to be about the first problem, like identify the problems and identify like what products you would like to build. I hope that helps. And secondly, we're going to be how to design the product. As I just mentioned, when I have been judges for around 5 different hackathons, including the ETH Hong Kong, including the AI hackathon hosted by Stanford Blockchain Club, and also included last year Solana hackathon. So we figure out like a lot of developers, they understand like they should design a product in the protocol level, and they contribute a high quality code, but what they were not a lot were going to be the UI and the UX, which is actually Web2 development skills, as well as your tokenomics. Because when you're judging a hackathon as a hackathon judge, you will see there are going to be usually like 4 or 5 different criteria for you to judge a hackathon. And the score of a hackathon actually adding up all those 5 different criteria. Usually they're going to be the quality of your code, the product market fit, or the ecosystem location of your products. They're also going to be your presentation skills, and usually they're going to be one criteria, which is the completion. So you should make sure the product you deliver has a very, very complete front end, back end, and smart contract, which is a protocol. So this is something like most developers you do not aware when they are when they attend hackathon. Usually we saw like in hackathons as a judge, we saw developers, they come in front, they share their screens, they doing their presentation, and then when they head in the GitHubs, you can see their codes, but there are not very clear demo that you can actually interact with when they are doing their when they are building their protocols. That means like they are only building the product in a protocol level, not in a UI UX, not in a front end level. And also most of the hackathon level projects, they do not have a tokenomics, and they do not have their go-to-market strategy. Those are actually very, very important parts of the whole product. It is made up of the protocol, tokenomics, UIX design, which is the front end and back end design. So they were all counted into, the outcomes of the hackathon outcome. So make sure if you have time, definitely do a front end and back end development. It is not necessarily, very fancy and take you a lot of time. So I do recommend you should focus a little bit more on like the problem you like to solve, as well as the quality of your smart contract development. That's the most important stuff. But if you have extra time, make sure you have a basic front end at least. They're going to be making a huge difference, especially when you're doing your presentation, when you're going to the final round, because that's what most of the winning projects will have. Lastly, about the go-to-market strategy and tokenomics design. So it's also something like most of developers will forget. Even so, I would say around 60% of developers will forget to do a front end or back end. They only have their smart contract and code. And over 90% of the hackathon teams and hackathon products, they will not do their tokenomics and go-to-market strategy. So you should understand like why ecosystem, like why they would like to hold hackathon. That is because we like to find definitely really high quality developers. But when they are giving out grants, they definitely hope like those hackathon winning projects, they will continue to build on this ecosystem. That means if you have a very comprehensive tokenomics and go-to-market plan, you'll be more prepared to go to the market and go to the exchanges. So when the judges, they are evaluating your projects, they're going to be something like they will see and they will value a lot. So that will going to give you a huge advantage over other projects that they do not have a good market strategy and tokenomics. Because it's basically you're saying, hey, Judge, I'm building this protocol and I'm serious. I'm not only building this for this single hackathon to get some grants. I really research about the markets, research about the ecosystems, and I have a tokenomics and go-to-market strategy. So I am ready to go further to develop this protocol further and to contribute to this ecosystem. And even go to centralized exchanges, finish my first and second round of investments, and be one of the core player in the ecosystem. So this is something like the judges, especially judges from foundation, will care a lot. And lastly, the last topic we're going to be prepare your presentations. It's also something like a lot of developers ignore a lot. We see a lot of developers, especially China-based developers, like Chinese developers. They actually contribute very high quality code, and they do have understanding of this ecosystem. They understand what Polkadot needs and what Polkadot can achieve, like what kind of applications can run well in the ecosystems. That what kind of applications will suit the technical features of Polkadot. But so there will be very easy for them to go to the final presentation stage because they contribute a really, really beautiful GitHub. But when they are going to the final round, which is a presentation, when they're invited to Hong Kong, to Singapore, to Thailand, to do the final presentation in front of everyone, it's something I would say most of Chinese developers, they are kind of having a disadvantage over more internationalized teams. There are basically two main problems they have. The first is they are not native English speakers. which is very practical, but which is also, something matters a lot. So I do recommend, if you are a developer, you are the co-developer of your team, then find someone that can speak very fluent English and do the presentation. It can be, some college students from business schools. It can be one of your friends who are working use English as their professional language. But when you're going to the final presentation stage, make sure you have a teammate who can do fluent English and who understand the presentation skills. I'm not saying that you should ask them to do the presentation for you. I'm asking like you should do the presentations together as a team. The core developer still should be, the main engine to design like what I would like to say, how I should prepare my presentation. But the other guy who is fluent in English and understand the presentation skills, it should also, contribute a little bit more on how I should structure the presentation, how I should design my slides, and like how I should answer all the questions and stuff. So you do not make sure like you really understand like it's very, very important for the final outcome of the hackathon. Make sure you convey your beautiful products 100% to the judges. Okay, and the last thing I would like to mention about the presentation will be before, like, because for different presentation, different hackathon, they're going to give you different criteria and different rules. Like for some of presentation, you only have like 5 minutes or even 3 minutes to do the presentation. And for some of them, you can have like 10 minutes or even 15 minutes to present and even show your products. It is all good. But what I strongly recommend, and during my past experiences, when you prepare your first version of slides, you should try to do a presentation PowerPoint of less than 5 slides, and try to finish it within 2 minutes. No matter what is the final rules, like you have 10 minutes or 15 minutes. When you're using your first version, make sure you have less than 5 slides and make sure you can finish it within 2 minutes. Because actually, as a judge, I would say the attention will going to, be there for 2 minutes for a project if you do not track, more attention, if you do not, get me curious and understand more about the protocol. I will only give you 2 minutes of my time to understand about the presentation. So make sure in your first version, you have less than 5 slides to perfectly elaborate like what kind of protocol you like to build, why you would like to build this protocol, what is your way to solve the problem, and what does that mean to the ecosystems. So yeah, that will take definitely less than 5 slides. And that is the most important 5 slides of your presentation. And do it in less than 2 minutes. When you do this kind of stuff, you understand like what is the core of your presentation and also what is the core of your product. They're going to help you also reflect on your product and your protocol, help you prepare for the Q&A session, because usually the judges were going to ask, like, elaborate a little bit more on the core of your protocol and, give it 2 minutes, very, very concise answer of this kind of problems. So yeah, I hope they're going to help you when you prepare for this hackathon. So yeah, this is basically everything I would like to cover. So all in all, I hope you will enjoy a very interesting building journey in a Polkadot 2024 hackathon. And make sure you define your problem, make sure you design a good product, including UI, UX, and tokenomics, not only just protocol, and make sure you prepare your presentation concisely and completely. Okay, so I hope you guys can not only win, but also enjoy your building journey in a Polkadot hackathon. yeah, so this is basically all I would like to cover in this workshop. Now I guess it should be open for questions.
Okay, thanks, Max. There's no more questions come from the audience.
Cool.
Okay,
Thank you all.
thank you. I'll just quickly show the bounties for the two hackathons. The one for Singapore, right now we have Akala across Vara network, Bifrost, blockchain for Goose. If you want to check details, you meet the requirements or not, you can just click the bounty detail tab. We already sent this link to your Discord group, private group. Yeah, and that one for Bangkok, we have Vara Network, Bifrost, Darwinia Network, and Blockchain for Goose as well. Yeah，哎，对，然后我们其实这个 Bounty 啊也是在持续更新啊，大家可以关注一下这个 Dollar Hacks，然后具体的这个 Bounty 信息啊，包括链接，我们也其实在您的这个参赛项目群里啊，也给您这个发进去了，您也可以关注一下。Okay, so go back to my slide. OK，大家没有打卡的，还是可以继续打卡。对，drop your name plus your project name or the name plus individual. OK. So if you hadn't registered for the hackathon, you can scan the QR code on most right hand side. 哎，然后大家没报名啊，大家就可以这个扫一下这个报名这个黑松的这个码啊，最右端这个。OK。So um，然后最后呢，希望这个大家参赛这些大家，然后其实明天啊，因为咱们不是有 Travel Grants 嘛，然后有6个这个workshop 啊，这是第3场，然后明天同一时间啊，我们还会有一场，然后下周的周六周日还是同一时间就会有剩下的2场。Okay, so we have another 3 hackathons and tomorrow 3 workshops. So tomorrow at the same time we will have another workshop, and for the next weekend we have another 2 workshops as well. If you want to get a chance to win the travel grants, please attend it. 行，然后呢，最后也是希望大家取得这个好成绩。So finally, I hope that all the participants here can invest and grow from this sharing. Thank you for participating today, and I wish every participating to achieve outstanding result in the project. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye. Thank you.